You know the type of guy that was a jock in high school but ended up becoming a huge nerd? You know, someone that's not afraid to make a fool of themselves on the internet. And someone that likes to shoot polaroid a little too much. Did I say huge nerd? You know, just an ordinary, everyday guy. Well, that's me. I'm just another Chris.
This is very exciting. First of all, welcome in. Second of all, my zipper broke on my spacesuit. So, as I was putting it on, so I gotta fix it. Luckily, there's a table blocking. Otherwise, it's just like open down here. But, welcome in. I am really, really excited because today is the day that we launch. Oh, I have a button now.
Tales from Terra!
Ooh, yeah. Today's the day. It's been several months of hard work. Hard work on figuring out how to make this. And we launched the announcement today, but I wanted to go live and talk about it more in depth. Maybe you have questions about what is this? What's this going to be? What's this mean for the future? And right off the bat, I'm going to say this won't be taking over this channel by any means. We'll be going back to regular scheduled programming of camera reviews and film shoots and all that sort of stuff coming very soon. I'll give minimal content around this here on the channel, to be honest. There'll be some, but not a lot. I've started another Instagram page dedicated to this. I don't think I'll do a YouTube channel for it. If I do, we'll see. I don't know. But I wanted to do it over on Instagram because I got some fun plans with it. I left links to it in the description. And if you want to pick it up, there's also a link in the description and pinned in the chat. But if you have questions about anything else, even outside of this, feel free to leave some comments. Let's chat. Let's hang out. Let's have a good time. I'm really excited. This is unlike anything that I've ever done. And it's unlike anything that's ever existed. This is a first of its kind. A little experiment, a little experience even. So enough rambling. What is it? What is it? Well, it is a... Well, that's the thing. It's kind of hard to describe exactly what it is. It's a comic book. Yeah, check this out. It is a comic book. There it is. Oh, it's right here. I have a new camera. My regular overhead camera broke. My GH5. And I had to hook up another one. So, it's a comic book that I designed from scratch. I had learned how to do it. I'll dive into that in a second. But basically, the story is laid out right here. And what the story is about is two astronauts. We've got Commander Orion and we've got Dr. Lyra. And we learn about them a little bit, and they go on a little photo excursion because they find an instant camera floating in the void of space. Yeah. Ooh, Felt, what's up? You want one? You can get one. Check it out. Pinned in the comments and in the description if you want to snatch it up. There's a limited supply, and that's what I'm talking about right now. But I'll dive more into that in a second. We've got the two heroes of the story. They're on a little excursion, and they find an instant camera floating in space. I'm not going to show you too much of the comic. Actually, I'll show you one other page. Because I want it to be a surprise. Here, I'm going to cover this part up and just show you this page. They find it. Ooh, you kind of get a teaser right there. They find it in space, and that leads them to planet Terra. Or better known to us as Earth. They go to Earth, and it's a little vacation-ish from their normal activities. They take a quick break from all their heroing and saving of the galaxy and all that stuff. And they just use the camera and take some pictures. Now, it's a little comic, a little fun. But the next best part of this is inside this pack, which is reminiscent of a... here, let me go over here. Is reminiscent of an old school trading card like wax pack, like of trading cards, you know? And these are handmade, by the way, not the book, but everything else is. I'm about to show you. But inside this pack, there's one other, well, there's a couple things that you get, but you get another little package. Look at this, another little pack. And once you open this up, you'll be presented with 5 instant photos. I'm being careful not to call them Polaroid, because I don't want Polaroid to try and sue me. But you get these 5 photos, and that's where this idea really came from. I wanted to show off my work in a new medium, a new way, and I wanted to make replicas of my photos instead of just putting them in a zine, which I've done in the past, and that's still fun. I'll probably still do them in the future. But I wanted to bring the photos to life. And these photos actually correlate to the photos that the astronauts or our heroes take while they're visiting Terra. And it's like literally stories from Terra, because on the back of each photo, I think I've only ever shown this one, so some of it I still want to keep a surprise. So when you get it, you're surprised. But on the back, when you flip them over, they have continued little stories. These are like logs from the commander while he was visiting, little information about the photo that they took. It's a concept idea. It's something brand new, never been done before. And I'm pretty excited to talk about it and bring it to the world. This is something that's never been done, like I said, and I don't know if there's going to be much interest. And based on whatever I've posted so far, interest is very low, and we'll see how far this goes. I'm not going to give up on it just on one run, which right here is what you see is all I've got in hand right now. But I am going to be offering these up as a pre-order if they end up selling out. And I want to continue this into multiple issues. Like this is series 1, issue 1, and I want to continue the story on and on. And inside the comic itself over here, overhead here, wrong button. Inside the comic, I tease a little more about the future of what could potentially be coming around the corner. I tease a new character, and I tease just what could happen. Now, the story itself is, in a way, there's not a lot of substance or meat there yet, because, well, it's my first one. I've never done this before, and I want to expand on it. I've already got a bunch of ideas. I've been storyboarding them out on where I could take it, and I want to make at least 2 more issues of this, and then reevaluate from there. See if there's any actual people interested. Yo, what's up, Daniel? Hey, I'm gonna get one of these soon. Oh, thank you so much. These are cool. I appreciate the feedback. And that's also what I want from you guys. If you end up picking it up, I want to hear your thoughts, your just feedback in general. I want to see areas I can improve. There's already areas I know I can improve on and want to. And yeah, we'll dive into that in a second, because this isn't all you get in the package. You also get a official trading card of the commander himself. Yes, and then on the back of the card, there's more story to be told. We learn about him, learn about some other stuff, and this is numbered 1. And the reason for that is, when I make issue 2, there's going to be another card with another character. So it's another little collector thing that you can collect. Another little thing you can collect. I think it's just fun. And the ironic part is I don't collect comic books or trading cards, really. I just love the idea of it and love the concept, and I think it's fun. I do enjoy like opening cards with people. I think that's fun. I don't really necessarily like need to collect them myself, but I just like to be a part of that community. And I'm kind of already on the community, or in that community, with one of my clients, Deep Pocket Monster. Pat Flynn, he does Pokemon cards and stuff, and I've gone to a bunch of his events. I'm like, it's really fun to be in that community of people, and I thought, why not kind of take some of that and bring it over to the instant photography world? This is unlike anything else, which also I'll dive into a little bit more, because I have another idea for that. Here we go. Can't get more insight into what it is exactly. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. This is exactly what we're talking about right now. But yes, you get this little collector card that comes with it, along with the photos that tie into the story of the comic book itself. Obviously, these are photos I took, but in the story, the photos are taken by our intrepid heroes, as my little voiceover was. And they take the photos here on Earth, but they refer to it as Terra. And they're visiting. And yeah, I thought it was a fun way to show off my work. And you can get physical photos. And then on the back, like I said, there are logs from the commander. And it's just extra story. Continues on. I want to improve on all of that. It still needs a little bit of polishing and whatnot. But I hope when you pick this up that you can see the vision and where I want to go. This is not done before. No one's done this, so I don't have a stamp or a mold to work off of. I'm creating that mold and that stamp, which is scary and really fun at the same time. So I'm really excited. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much. I can't wait for you to check it out. That's so cool. Thank you. Only a handful of these are available. They're all handmade currently. And I'm going to be making a tutorial video or behind the scenes, whatever you want to call it, of how I made it. All of this, every aspect. The packaging, the comic itself, the trading card, even behind the scenes of shooting the promo. But yeah, so lastly that it comes with is a poster, signed poster from me. And you may notice the characters look slightly different from the rest of the characters in the comic book, more accurately. There we go. That's what I'm trying to find. And there's a reason for that. Like, they resemble it. The camera looks different. The flash is like super like sci-fi looking. And there's a reason for that. And that is because back in the day, like 60s, 70s, 80s era even, like when you saw packaging for like sci-fi stuff, the artwork looked so cool. And then when you like played the video game or read the book, it looked totally different. Or was not at all. Even like some like movies of the day, like sci-fi movies, you look at the like cover of it, of like the VHS box or whatever, and it looks so awesome. Even Star Wars kind of slightly does that too. Like the original Star Wars poster. Like Luke's not that ripped. But I wanted to have that kind of feel, or like bring some of that like little nod to the sci-fi era genre. So this poster kind of represents that a little bit. I think it's just kind of fun. I think it's just fun. But yeah, I'm going to be putting out a behind the scenes of how I did all of this. Hopefully it'll probably come out in like a week or two. We'll see. There was a podcast I did with old camera guy that I need to put out probably first. And I thought about doing a podcast about this too, but we'll see. Podcast episode. Not sure. Yeah, so this is issue 1 of Tales from Terra. Actually, hang on.
Tales from Terra!
That's issue number 1. And we are not done yet. Because I have a lot of other ideas I want to share with you. I love comic books. You know, I'm not a comic book collector. I read them sometimes. I'm more of an enthusiast, I guess. And plus, this kind of fits in with a little bit of my background. I used to own that retail shop, the toys and collectibles store. And I didn't do comic books, though. But it's kind of in that realm. It was around it all the time. And so kind of bringing some of my roots into what I'm doing now. But I also want to do something different in the film / instant film community. No one's doing this. Who's doing it? Exactly, no one. Do people want it? Or do they want traditional like zines from their favorite, or people that they think is cool from their like favorite photographer, or whatever you want to call them? I don't know. So I'm just trying it. This all started because at Christmas, a couple months ago, I was putting together some gifts for friends and family, and I had photos, like instant photos, Polaroid, Instax, whatever, of stuff that we've done. I just realized this microphone's kind of far away. Can you even hear me properly? There we go. But yeah, like photos of us like out and about at like parties, events, or gatherings or whatever. And so I made replica photos of those as like magnets so they could put on their fridge. And then it gave me the idea of, oh, maybe I could sell some of my photos, or like share some of my photos and in that type of medium, and then wrap them up in like a trading card pack, like a wax pack. Well, that quickly changed into this. I'm like, oh, it needs something more. And I came up with this. And the funniest part of all this as well, I am not an artist. My sister is, though. She's really good. She's a great artist, but I'm not. But I have an imagination, and I know how to use Photoshop. And so I created, where's the shot? There it is. The comic and the images using ChatGPT. Yeah. Now, I didn't just push a button and get this. This is like 14 different images, maybe more, and a lot of Photoshop to get the characters to like match. And yeah, so don't let your lack of ability to do something stop you from doing that thing. I was able to achieve this with no artistic ability, like drawing wise. And I think it came out really cool. And I'm excited to see where it goes. Over on the Instagram page for Tales of Terra, I am going to start looking or see what I can do as far as create its own digital version of the comics, but not the story that happens in the physical copies, its own stories. And I think it'd be really fun so that we can like continue the story in between the physical issues. Because the one thing I immediately pigeonholed myself into is the story can only take place on Terra, right? Because it's Tales from Terra. Or at least loosely. Either way, every issue, right, would have to probably happen on Earth. And so I thought it'd be a fun way to like show them in what they actually do, but in a digital form, like out there exploring the galaxy and whatever. And then the physical form is when they're like on break and taking pictures. We'll see. I might flesh that detail out a little bit later. I think so. And I think so as well. And I think a lot of times when people think of AI, they dismiss it. And I was a little worried about that. But I think what everyone's used to when they think of AI is like, yeah, you just typing in some words, press an enter, and then it gets shared out as it is, and there's no like thought put into it. This is not that at all. I was using reference photos, like physical stuff, like taking pictures of Polaroid cameras and things, digital cameras, film cameras, everything, creating assets, training the AI to like help me like make this stuff come to life. So there's still like realism in there. It was a whole thing. I'm going to dive into that a lot more when I release the official like behind the scenes of creating this thing. Which, yeah, it's kind of wild. It's been a random hyperfixation for the last like 2 months, which is also kind of wild to think that it took 2 months of my time, which is a long time. But then in reality, when you look at it, it only took 2 months to create this from start to finish, which I think that's still pretty impressive in its own feat, being able to use the modern technology. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I am reading chat. Keegan. I read the chat. Where was I? Yeah, so Tales from Terra. I moved some things around and my buttons are all like backwards now. This is what you all get in the issue 1. Now, issue 2, I want to explore other options as far as what I can do. It won't be the same every single time. You'll get different things packed in there. I almost put like bubble gum in here, like the strip of bubble gum. This would be like, I think that'd be just kind of fun and just kind of like a reminiscent of the day. And I also am not, or I'm being very careful to not call these Polaroid photos as well, because I don't want Polaroid to sue me. Even though I saw something today that was very interesting. It's not from Polaroid, and they were using that name, and it was listed it, or Walmart sells it. So I was gonna look more into that. But what was I gonna say? I had a late night last night, staying up prepping for the launch, so I'm a little tired. Oh, good question. So the comic is 13 pages. It's small. That's the other thing I want to improve on next. Problem is to make the comic books and stuff and print them. It's expensive in low low volumes. I want to be able to get this eventually. The cost way down. I want to cut the cost for you to purchase in half. That's a goal. But to print these, I printed 30 books, and it cost me. Oh shoot, I have that listed somewhere. God, I think it was 180 or $200 or something like that to print 30 books. Now, I'm hoping these like kind of take off, and then I'm able to make a second order with the pre-orders, because once these sell out, then the pre-order opens, and potentially a Kickstarter. My friend Noptop Dave, he was trying to get me to do a Kickstarter from the beginning. But if I'm able to make a giant purchase or giant order, then I can get that cost way down. I think I calculated out if I can sell 100 of these, or order 100 of them from the manufacturer, I can get these books down to like $1.50 each, which is pretty good. Right now they're costing like $6, maybe $7 each, which is not ideal. So, yeah. Oh wow, didn't expect that cool UI. I'm thinking you mean AI. Yeah, it wasn't just AI in the sense of push a button, like I said, and you get it. There's a lot of Photoshop involved, a lot of like me manipulating them after the fact. I mean, heck, even this right here.
Tales from Terra.
That's AI as well. Not the text, but the voice. But I didn't just create the voice. Prompted it and got it. I took that and then brought it into editing software, changed it, tweaked it, put it back through. Did a whole thing to like get that to happen. And then I added the reverb and the some other stuff. So, yeah, just utilizing it as a tool. And I think some people don't quite understand how powerful it can be, because right now we're living in a world where it's being used kind of in malicious ways and not proper creative ways. So I'm looking to change that, get that out there. So don't be afraid of it. Use it as a creative tool. And this is what I did. But in reality, the whole idea is the story is just a way for me to show off, or for you to get some of my work. That's really all it is. Like, this is real. This isn't AI. Now, speaking of that, I totally forgot to mention this. Inside the book, the characters, they go to each of these locations. So, for instance, this Dar Run Motel. And I chose this one because it was one of my most popular or most liked Instagram photos of last year. So I'm like, I'll include it in here. And plus, it's kind of a, cliche for instant photographers. But I took this actual image, fed it into ChatGPT because it has image prompting, and told it, once I've created my characters the way I kind of like them, I told it, have them take a picture of this. So this stuff is in the comic book. Like, you actually see these locations based off of the photo. So I took vintage style, or the vintage analog photos, and turned it into the future, or like future tech, and had it reimagined with the characters. It was a whole thing. I was pretty proud of how it actually kind of worked out. But I'm gonna go more depth in that later when that video comes out. That's expensive to produce. It is expensive to produce. That's why I'm hoping that people see the vision, they see what I'm trying to do, and they jump on board for the first few rides, and I'm able to make larger orders, and then that cost can start coming down. Right now it's a little high, but I want to drop that down. Now, I still think that when you buy a zine from a instant photographer or a photographer in general, film, digital, it doesn't matter. You buy their book, and most of the time that book is well over $100, right? And you get a photo of their work on like a blank white page. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't find that very entertaining to read. I mean, you're just kind of like, you flip through it and you're like, oh, cool. Oh, wow. And then you put it on your shelf and you never look at it again. And so, but it's still cool to own and support your local or whatever you want to call them, like photographers and other entrepreneurs. And so, I mean, I have some of those. So when I've set out to create my stuff, I've never wanted to do it that way. I wanted to give you guys a good experience. And so a couple of my zines that I've put out, like this one came out a couple years ago. This is a story where I take you through my hometown. And these are photos from just from around the town, right? Instant photography. But there's story to it. It's not just on a blank page. I wanted to have a theme. Like, this is a field guide. It's like I put it together while I'm just driving you around. And then there was the first one I did was a much bigger and more in-depth thing. It was showing off all my work, but every page was like laid out in a way like, where's one of my when it's relevant? Here we go. I wanted to show off like cameras I liked, and then there's QR codes in here, and you can like watch videos and things. I've wanted to do it just so differently, and not charge $1 billion for this stuff. And so all that to say, these are $27.99. And now if you look in the aspect of, oh, it's a comic book, might be a little high, but it's more than just a comic book. It's art, it's photography. It has replica photos. It's a zine from a photographer, which is weird. I've never considered myself a photographer, but I guess I am one. And I think it's a fraction of what you would pay from another photographer. Some people sell their prints, right? They sell prints and they're signed and limited, let's say like 100 of them, and you'll pay a couple $100 for that stuff. Yeah, I've never been one for that. Let's see here, catch up. I'm going to go sleep soon, but I got to ask. I love your content and have been watching for a while. Thank you, I appreciate that. Just say I got 2 cameras, a Y400 and a Polaroid 1000 SE. I got to ask. Well, no, this is cut off. What keeps you up on instant photography? What do you think the main appeal of it? I've been using the Mini 12 for a while. Confused on why I even spend money on that thing. Well, okay, so you gotta ask yourself why you even like shooting instant photography. Everything has a purpose, right? Everything has a utilization, I should say, which is something I was going to talk about with tying into this. So like these here are Polaroid photos, replica Polaroid photos, but maybe issue 2 is on Instax mini photos, and I can give you more of those for less actually. But it's using the format based on your needs and your wants and desires and why you're even doing it in the first place. And that's the question only you can answer. Why do you like to do it? Well, I got into instant photography and I lost sight of this, honestly, until I kind of started doing this project. I reminded myself. When I got into instant photography, I was more into the film making world. I was creating documentaries and I was using instant photography as a way to tell stories. I was using it for B-roll insert shots, for voice, for dialogue and things. I was using it for promotion, for advertising, for a release of a film. I did that a lot with my documentary, The Collector's Mind, that came out back in 2020. And so I was using it in that way. And then when lockdown kind of hit, I was more focused on just shooting. And I kind of lost sight of why I was even into it in the first place. And you can utilize all of these types of cameras and film formats for different things. I've been thoroughly enjoying shooting with the Polaroid Go. I am reaching for that more and more. because it's fun. I don't really care about so many aspects of it. I just like shooting it, just shoot it at random stuff. I'm taking more photos of things that I never probably would have shot on larger formats. Hopefully that kind of slightly answers your question, or hopefully I understood it right. I might get the t-shirt as well. Yes, that was an afterthought last night. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have any like other merch. So there's a t-shirt available. There might be more soon. Will publish that book ever again? Oh, one of these? I might. My plans were, so with for this one, for instance, it's volume 1. I was thinking I would do a volume 2 of this where I go back through my hometown and shoot stuff that wasn't in this one, and also show the changes, because there's some of the businesses that are in here, they're closed, they're gone, and like even in this one, when I was making it, there was a change. You see, like, and now this place, this side, so this place was, shoot, I'm backwards. Okay. This place was this place, and now this place is now gone again, and this sign's actually half back. Anyway, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do that, and if I did, I would re-release it as like a bundle deal. So maybe this one, probably not. I'm not sure. This one, like kind of going back to what I said about cost. This one's actually really expensive to make, and so this one was my most expensive like book I ever sold, but it was still under $100. I think it was like $60. I think most expensive one, but just because it's 140 some pages. Hang on, they're numbered. 139 pages. So it's a big one. But going back to this, in this little experiment that I'm really excited for and passionate about it, and will be making more, regardless of how successful it is right out of the gate. And I kind of anticipated the initial launch video for this not to do very well, because it's not a camera review, and camera reviews are the only things really people watch here on the channel. Which is totally fine. But I'm not going to give up on it. So if you get one, I don't think it's going to be the last one. That's totally fine if there's only a few that get made. I'm still going to put them out. I just hope that the more get made, just so I can get that cost even cheaper. So really excited for that to happen. Now, in between that stuff, I have another project I want to share with you that I'll be kind of working on next. It's not a comic book. It's going to be focused on just the photos, which might be something more up your guys' alley. If you're not into the whole comic book thing. So these are the photos, right, that come with the book. They are printed front and back. And this was a game changer for me, because I've had this idea to do instant photography trading cards. And I've never been able to figure out how to make front and back one-to-one Polaroid or other instant photos. But I figured it out all these years later. And I want to do packs of cards. So this is going to have, some of this was like kind of an experiment for that. But like I was like, you guys get the like little booster pack, if you will, of the photos. They'll be packaged in this when you get it. And I want to do your favorite content creators, like let's say Sweet Lou Photography, even like Nop Top, he's a good friend of mine, Yvonne Hansen, many others, and ask them to like send me or like a photo of theirs, maybe autograph it, and I'll make copies. Well, let me back up. I'm getting ahead of myself. Have a bunch of cards, basically the idea is, and they're in packs, and when you open them up, there's chase cards, there's like even holographic cards, there's your favorite content creators, either photos that they have taken or just like portraits of them, and then have like one-of-one cards and have those be like autographed, like or something like by them, and just like a fun collector little instant photography packs. And I would have like Polaroid packs, and I would do like Instax packs, things like that. I think that would be so much fun and more easily doable than the whole comic book. With the comic book's fun, much more of a bigger undertaking in creating this. There's a lot of being locked away. I think the book itself took me probably a week and a half ish to do, but then again, that was a lot of me figuring it out as I go along. Now that I kind of have a decent understanding of the process, I could probably cut that time way down. And I definitely want to make the book longer, but more pages cost more money. That's also the issue. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. And I'm also really excited for the trading cards. I don't know why. I just think that's so much fun. And there'll be a new one each time. I actually have 6 or 7. I think there's 6 of these already designed and ready to go. Because my initial idea was to release this as its own thing and then offer a collector's edition. And then you could get a 6-pack of cards and then something else. I was thinking of like a display box. They can like store this stuff in and put it up on a shelf, like on display, which I still might do. I just think it'd be really fun. And I want this to be like something that you can spend a little time with and not just flip through it once and it goes back on a shelf. The other thing I'm looking into is like a branded album, so you can store the photos in and display them that way. A lot of things, a lot of ideas, and I'm excited to see what I'm able to do. It's been a refreshing time doing this, because here on the channel I spend most of my time reviewing products or cameras or whatever, so you can be creative, right? You come here to find out if a camera's good or not, and I go out and I shoot with it. But when I'm shooting with it, I shoot stuff, a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it, things I wouldn't necessarily shoot 14 times in a row. But I gotta do the comparison. And so I don't really get to be as creative, which is the ironic part, as I want to be. And doing this is something that is really nice and refreshing, because it's not a camera review, and it's not like anything else. I can actually be creative. I can make stuff, and I think that's really, really exciting, and been really, really fun, like I said. So it's really cool. I'm gonna do a couple more of them, like I said, and then reassess from there. It could die after that. I don't know. I hope not. But I'm going to be pushing this a lot more. Not necessarily here on this channel. There'll be announcements from time to time, absolutely. But I'm thinking I'm going to focus it more on like Instagram on its own brand. I don't want to like alienate you guys. Hey, here, buy a comic book. Well, you're not here for that. You're here for camera reviews. I know. I know what you want. So if you want to follow the journey more closely, and if you want to even pick one of these up for yourself, there is a link in the description and a pinned comment in the chat to direct purchase of this. It's available right now. You can purchase it and it will ship to you. Currently, I have 23 or 4 of them left. So it's pretty cool. I'm really excited. I'm really tired too, because I was up so late last night trying to get things finalized and prepped. And like I created that t-shirt. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Like, why didn't I create more like merch and things? Also, a note on the shirts: if you do get one, they ship separately, because that's just through my I guess another supplier. So if you buy it, they won't come together. They'll come in separate packages. Even though I did learn there's a glitch, I don't know how to fix it. So if you order one of these and a shirt, shipping is pretty much the same. So I might lose money because the system doesn't register it as separate orders. So I have to, I might, if it's somewhere overseas, I might get screwed on that. Might lose money. Literally give this away and lose money potentially. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But it's just, it's the nature of the game. I'd rather be out there anyway, so I don't really care. But yeah, it's Pretty cool. So what are you waiting for?
Tales from Terra.
You can order it today. I'm really excited. Here's another idea. I'm thinking of bringing this into fruition, and that is doing this in audio form, like a audiobook, if you will, of other things, the stories that these characters go on, other like ventures, and it would be told from like as them, right? Like the characters like talking back and forth, and I think that'd be really fun too. So I've got lots of ideas. So I'm hoping this like kind of like kicks off and goes somewhere, because I think it's cool and different, and it's not a plain old zine with a photo slapped on a blank white page that's maybe offset slightly. It's because that's what hipsters do. I don't know. Hot take, maybe. I don't know. It's not really my style. Not my thing. I want to give you guys something fun, different, exciting. That's what you're here for. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you watching, sticking around, learning a little bit more about this project and what is to come. And stay tuned for the behind the scenes process of creating this. I'm going to show you how to do this yourself if you want to make something similar, or just make your own photos as replicas. I think that's a cool way to show off your work. Let's see if this works. Sometimes it doesn't. Nope, that wasn't the button I meant to push. Where is it? There it is. There we go. It did work. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Be sure to pick up a Tales from Terra. Oh, I'll play it one more time.
Tales from Terra.
Pick one up today. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Now, get out there. Make some art.